Hey guys, so I know it's been quite a while since I was going to do a few videos about the Anunnaki, Nibiru, and Christianity Exposed, what's actually going on in the Bible. So I've watched some extremely interesting videos. I'm going to put them in the description down below, their links, and also a link, if I can find it, to a video about how what we're actually experiencing is not real life, or whatever you would describe as real life, but it's actually a dream. We're experiencing a dream where consciousness experiencing itself over and over again in different realities. And one reason why I say that is if you go to the Bible, if you're in any way religious, God puts Adam to sleep to take out his rib, but it never says he woke Adam up. In Genesis 2 and 21, hence Jehovah God had a deep sleep fall upon the man, and while he was sleeping he took one of his ribs and then closed up the flesh over its place. Doesn't say anything else of whether or not he woke up. So in a very rough abstract theory, we could actually be Adam's consciousness experiencing itself 7 billion different ways, and this is the reality that we have created with that. Interesting thought. Now another one is Genesis, the Bible, up to Genesis 2 and 3, it says God. God created the earth, God created the animals, and he saw that it was good. Genesis 4 says, this is the history of the heavens of Jehovah, Lord, Savior, God. That is when Jehovah or Lord or Savior, all of those titles now come in. Kind of makes you think it's a different person. Now, if this is a weird one. This is why I kind of believe the Anunnaki story. The Anunnaki is they came to Earth from their planet Nibiru, Planet X, the planet that comes to our solar system every 3,500 years. And they came to this planet and created Earthlings. They created human beings. But they created these species as a slave race, somewhat. These species couldn't reproduce. And this actually kind of may or may not support that claim. In Genesis 1 and 28, where God says, further, God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and become many. And now, who is he talking to? Well, he's talking to humans. He created man and woman. In Genesis 27, and God proceeded to create the man in his image. In God's image, he created him, male and female. He created them. Well, that's before he created Adam and Eve. So he created man and woman. Now, I believe it says somewhere like one of God's days 1,000 years, right? So God didn't create the earth in 6 literal days. He created it over a period of time. So a day to God is 1,000 years to humans. So 6,000 years he created the planet, and then he rested for 1,000 years. So he created human beings, and then he rested for 1,000 years before he created Adam and Eve. Where are these humans? We don't know anything about them. We imagine that these could be the Anunnaki creation that couldn't reproduce. They had to continually make new humans. And then finally, now God, Anunnaki, those who've fallen, or the fallen, right? They came to this planet from their own planet. They decided to cause some genetic experiments, created a slave race. Slave race couldn't reproduce. They decided to do something about it, or at least one of them did. That one was Jehovah God, Yahweh. That one Anunnaki said, why don't we create humans that can reproduce? And so this Jehovah put Adam to sleep. Like, he made Adam out of dust, right? So he took Adam, made him up out of carbon molecules and dust, and then out of Adam, he made a woman. He made them so that they could reproduce, so that they didn't have to continually make more and more human beings. They just already had reproductive organs, they could reproduce. Perfect. But now Adam and Eve ate from the fruit of good and evil, and so they had knowledge. They had knowledge that the Anunnaki didn't want them to have. And they said, he's become like one of us, knowing good and evil. We can't have that. We have to banish him from the garden, right? Now, it also says a serpent deceived Eve. When people think of serpent, they think of snake. But where is it here? Genesis 3:14. And Jehovah God, again, Jehovah, proceeded to say to the serpent, because you have done this thing, you are the cursed one out of all the domestic animals and out of all the wild beasts of the field. Upon your belly you will go, and dust is what you will eat all the days of your life. That's what snakes do, eh? They stick their tongue out, they get dust. That's what they're tasting, or they're scenting, whatever, but they're getting dust. It's like they're eating dust. They crawl on their belly. So this is saying that they weren't on their belly prior. Maybe serpent was actually a dinosaur. Dinosaur is a large lizard. Lizards are serpents, are they not? Kind of the same relative family. Snakes used to have limbs like lizards. So you could theorize that maybe the serpent was actually a dinosaur of a sort. Huh? And the same thing I wonder too, is a talking animal, talking snake, talking serpent, was like, hey Eve, eat this fruit, you'll know good and evil, you know, da-da-da. And she was like, oh, a talking snake, or whatever. Fantastic, I'll believe it. Now we were wondering, why is this? Now, is Adam still dreaming? Is this what this is? You talk to animals or all kinds of crazy stuff in your dream. You don't question it. It just is. So that's one reason why I think we may still be his subconscious experiencing itself. Another reason is that maybe if God actually was a spirit creature, that he would take possession of animals or something to communicate with Adam. Maybe. So we're not exactly too sure about that one, but that's definitely a weird point. So, what is the mark of the beast? 666, the mark of the beast. Hand, head is where it will be. People believe it's going to be an electronic chip so that you can buy and sell. Guess what? What have we been doing for thousands of years? Buying, selling. How? Buying and selling is physical. Money is physical, right? We are made of carbon. How many electrons, neutrons, and protons are there in a carbon atom? Well, there is 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. 666, people. We already have the mark of the beast. We are human. We are carbon-based life forms. We're different than the first humans that were created. We were created separately. We were made from dust. We were made from carbon. Jehovah, what if Jehovah is not a good? What if Jehovah is an Anunnaki that decided, hey, why don't we create different species? And then he fucked up. He created these species, and then these species was curious because we weren't perfect or something anymore, right? We weren't just the unquestioning, lawful slaves. What if Jehovah is even, because I'll in the link below, if you guys watch it, it's like 40 or 50 minutes of your time. It's definitely worth watching. In the link below, he says Jehovah, Satan, Yahweh are all the same being. So what if Jehovah created these, used Satan, and he was like, he deceived them. He played different roles, and he deceived them. He was like the traitor to the Anunnaki. The humans were the slaves, and he's like, you know what, you guys, like this is how you get out of the situation, blah, blah, blah. And then the Anunnaki are like, no, Satan, we will now banish you to live on the earth with these humans. This is your punishment. Crazy, absolute, mind-blowing nutsiness? Absolutely. We all contain the mark of the beast. That's how we buy and sell for generations. It's crazy stuff. So I don't want to keep this video going for too long, because how many of you guys are actually going to watch this to the end? I know all my hardcore fans will, of course. Why not? I could put up an hour-long video and they'd probably just sit there, or they'd lay down and just listen for some odd reason. I'm not really sure why. So watch all of the videos. They're fantastic. They're absolutely awesome. It has to do with Nibiru, Planet X, religion, everything, the Anunnaki. And in my next video, I will kind of somewhat go about telling you guys a rough, really rough history of the Anunnaki and how it kind of works in with the Bible. Oh, quick note before I go, the book of Jashar. Jashar, J-A-S-H-A-R. We're missing Bible books. It says in the Bible, where is the book of Jashar? Mentioned at Joshua 10 and 13, it says in the book of Jashar. And 2 Samuel 1 and 18, it says the book of Jashar. We don't have that book in our Bible. So if we're missing one book, are we not missing more books? If that is a complete Bible, the book of Jashar would be in there. What is the book of Jashar? Is it not? Is it just a book? We have no idea. We can assume it's a Bible book, and then if we're missing one Bible book, then we're probably missing more Bible books. So, that is all. I will see you guys shortly. But, Nibiru. Is it real? Would we not have seen a planet that is apparently the size of Jupiter and had multiple moons by now? Is it hiding in the sun? Because when you point a camera at the sun with a certain lens, you can see a black dot in the center. Is that not a camera trick? Who knows, right? Okay, well, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it, by the way. That's why we're here. That's why we're talking. Nah. Peace.